All right, we're live. Welcome in, everyone. The Gentleman's Code, episode 7. Today of September 26th, 2024. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal office, my normal studio workspace. But when you're a world traveler and you got to go get things done across the country, you got to travel back here, travel back there, you make it work, and you make it professional. Look at the backdrop. Look at that. Professional. But yeah, we're here today, Gentleman's Code episode 7. So thank you guys for tuning in week after week. We haven't missed a week yet. We're not going to. So make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, follow Properly Paid, follow my account, Bobby Neishman, to get the notification every single time we go live. Also, I just wanted to touch on the Taylor's Code super quick. It's a school community. If you're not in there, we're going to provide a lot of juice today that is already in there that we talk about on a day-to-day basis. So if you're not in there, check the link in my bio. Get there. If you're watching on X, link is also in the bio there. But I'm going to kick it over to Priamo now to do his introduction, and we're going to get the ball started here today. So good morning, Pri.
Bang! What's going on, Bobby? Would sound good? Everything cool?
Yeah, sounds good on my end.
Fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Those of you inside the Taylor's Code, like Bobby was saying, you guys have already been getting a lot of this juice, but as Bobby had mentioned, we're going to try to give some of the things that we're talking about inside the Taylor's Code so you guys understand what it is that we're doing and what actual value there is in terms of being in the community, because something that we've been talking about for many, many months now is starting to play out in crypto. And, you know, it takes time for these sorts of things to actually play out. But once they start playing out, it's always 2020 hindsight. Now you understand, it's like, oh, well, if I was inside the Taylor's Code and I knew about this stuff 4 or 5 months ago, I'd be set up in a position where I'm making millions of dollars now. But what's going to happen, and you guys are going to see what's going to happen, is you're going to end up seeing all these people having success, people making all this money in the bull run here in the next couple of months, and then you're going to come back and say, well, how did I miss it? Or how do I get in now? Or how can I make my money? It's going to be too late. So, but yeah, good to see you, Bobby. Another fucking episode. We were supposed to have a special guest today, right? Logan Bauer.
Yeah, I heard.
Something must have happened. I think he found more comfort in hugging his pillow this morning. And I actually wanted to, before we jump into everything, and then I'll kick it back to you. Before we jump into everything, I just want to make sure we understand why he's not on the stream, because I was just trying to figure it out this morning. He said he would be on. He said he would make it. And then he doesn't, and he's sleeping. I'm just like, well, so why would he be sleeping in? And I did some research, and I typed into Google. I said, do gay people sleep more than straight people? Because this could be the only like thing that I could think of. And so I saw here NBC News. Look at this. So NBC News, if you look it up, gay youths are more than twice as likely to have sleep trouble, study finds.
Is that a real article?
Real article, NBC News. So
Wow.
I'm looking at it right now. If I could share my screen on the stream, if I was more of a professional, I would. But basically, we came to the conclusion that Logan's gay. So that's why he's not on the stream today, guys. So for the 10,000 viewers that tuned in today that don't typically tune in just to see Logan, just know that's why he's on the stream. He's gay.
Yeah, I guess if he's gonna squabble his invitation he got to, I don't know how many more invitations he's gonna get. If that's how you're gonna take your opportunity.
He's zero invitations. He can watch like everybody else. He can just type in the fucking chat and talk to us that way. So, all right, let's talk about the crypto, Bobby. I'll let you start first because you've been doing a lot of work on the charts and actually doing some TA. I know you've been working on that. But what are you thinking? What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, so what I've been seeing, if you guys are paying attention, if you guys are in the charts on the daily, on the weekly, you know, whatever day, however you do your research, I'm mostly on a weekly basis, so I like to check in on Sundays because that's just the day I have the most time to do research. So if you've been looking at the charts, you've been seeing we've been consolidating here for a while with a lot of the larger market cap coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin. I said this last week, and it's like still true to today that things have been consolidating and consolidating. Bitcoin has rose a little bit since I think my last video. I think it was at like 59, 60,000, but it's up to that 62 range. And Ethereum's kind of in the same boat. I think it's at like 2,400, 23, 24 range. It's been in there all week. Maybe it might be higher. I think I saw something about 25,000, maybe, or 2,500. So things have been consolidating, which is what we talked about in the past. When it takes those dips like that, you have to take advantage and buy low there because now you see we're consolidating. And I'll preach it again. The crypto market doesn't like to consolidate. It likes to either go up and it likes to go down. So it's been a shock to me that we've been in a consolidation phase for this long, honestly. So I could feel like the tension. I think of it like, a slingshot almost. It's still going this way, and then boom, it's going to explode. So that's how I've been seeing it. But a lot of the plays that we've been giving in the Taylor's Code, Priamo's Hugh on the Boys Club. If you don't know what that is, Priamo's going to talk about it. But Brett has been back on the incline. We saw over the past couple weeks, took that dip down with Bitcoin. It's not an exact science of how the timing works, and I'm not exactly sure what the timing is. But when you see Bitcoin take a dip like it did, I want to say about a month ago now, and then Brett, Andy, all those other coins, Pepe, they kind of follow, not exact timing. They're all a little bit different of when they follow the trail down. But now we're seeing them, they consolidated for a couple of days, a week, and now they're all back on the rise over the past 3 or 4 days. They've been on this, I'd say since Monday, maybe Sunday, they've been back up on the rise. So I've been seeing 3, 4, 5% a day, and then I get those notifications like Brett has moved, 10% over the past 24 hours. So the actual investment behind it, the Boys Club, I'll let Priamo talk about that if you want to touch on that, Pri.
Right. So what Bobby's saying is exactly correct. I'm actually looking at some of the charts right now. And so when we started, so in May is whenever we had the last all-time high, or the most local all-time highs with Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is whenever the market was popping off. So like Bobby was saying, rarely in crypto do you see these long reaccumulation ranges, these ranges that play out for 5, 6, 7 months. So we've been going through hell for the past 6, 7 months, just waiting for Bitcoin to break out of this range it's been in since top of the range about 70,000, bottom of the range about 55, 58, 60,000. And so what we're seeing now is as soon as Bitcoin reclaimed a couple of certain levels above $60,000, you saw the strongest projects on Ethereum start to blast off, right? So Wolf, Andy up multiple X's in the last couple of weeks. So again, plays that we were talking about inside the Taylor's Code. I'm posting what I'm holding for the past 5, 6 months inside the Taylor's Code, and those things are up 2, 3, 4, 5 X's at this point. And so what are you seeing happen is now that Bitcoin's starting to reclaim some of these levels, you're starting to see the strong meme coin projects that people are making a bunch of money off of right now start to explode, right? So you're starting to see them pop off of the lows, and those are the coins that you want to get into. Why? Because we haven't even done anything special yet. Ethereum is still at $2,600 right now. So we reclaimed 2,550, which is an important level. Now the next important level for Ethereum is going to be 2,800, 2,900. We reclaim that, then we break past 3,000. Coins like Brett, coins like Andy, coins like Pepe, coins like Landwolf, those things are going to do another 5 to 10 X's, right? And this is not like an exaggeration. This is really what these coins are about to do. 5, 10 X's just whenever Ethereum starts to regain these important levels. Once Bitcoin breaks through 65,000, Bobby, that's another important level for Bitcoin. You're going to see this market start to crack off because Q4 historically is incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going to go on a huge rally in Q4. It's going to drag up Ethereum, kicking and screaming with it. And then going into Q1 of next year, Ethereum will start to outperform Bitcoin. And then when Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin, that's when alt season starts. And then all these projects that we're talking about and we're invested into inside of the Taylor's Code are going to pull 10, 15, 20 X's on the coins. So then the Boys Club is the one that we talk about the most. So the Boys Club is essentially an Ethereum beta play. So if you're bullish on Ethereum, you think Ethereum is going to go up 5, 4x, 3x from its previous all-time high, then that means the Boys Club, the memes on those projects are going to do 10, 15, 20, 30x, depending on where you buy it in from, right? Which is huge. So when we talk about generational plays, generational wealth that's about to happen, this again, it happens every single cycle. There's 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 20-year-olds that become multi-millionaires, 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, people that are just in the game, they understand what's happening, they're going to get rich. And then the people that they get rich off of are going to be the ones that come in Q1 of next year whenever they see Bitcoin at $150,000 and they see Ethereum at $10,000 and they see these coins at, multiple billion-dollar valuations. They're going to come in and buy all these coins from us. We're going to rip and have a big fat fucking profit, and they're going to buy the top. That's what happens to most people, right?
Yeah, so real quick on on kind of how the timing of everything works. From my understanding of my research that I've done, is kind of the Bitcoin dominance in the market cap. So right now, Bitcoin is about 50% of the whole crypto market in terms of market cap. I think it's about 1.3 trillion. Could fluctuate, month over month, but the whole market as a whole is about 2.6 trillion dollars USD market cap. And where I think a lot of the timing, like I talked about before, is that Bitcoin goes on a little run, right? You see the run come, and then people, mostly whales, mostly people that have, big, large market caps, and they're looking to sell, and they're looking to make, swing plays. When things go up, they sell. When things drop back down, they buy more. And I think where you see a lot of reinvestment into the meme coins, especially the ones we're talking about, is when Bitcoin goes on those runs, it gets up into price discovery, 70,000 gets up there. A lot of guys are going to take their money out of the Bitcoin market. So where are they going to put it? Well, they're going to put it into these lower investments that are trailing Bitcoin, that are a little bit behind, a little bit delayed in their run. So the term Bitcoin dominance is the Bitcoin's going to go up, it's going to go high into price discovery, and then people are going to sell, but they're going to look for places to reinvest that money. So then they're taking the Bitcoin dominance away out of the market. They're selling their Bitcoin, and they're going to reinvest it in these lower market cap coins that are then going to follow Bitcoin and rip back up. And then it's the same cycle. So then once those coins rip up, they're going to sell those coins again. They're going to drop down a little bit, reinvest it into Bitcoin when Bitcoin gets lower after they do it. So that's kind of like the timing and the strategy behind it and how we're making these plays. So yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on in terms of timing, because I know it could be tough. People don't really understand exactly what's going on, but think of it in terms of Bitcoin dominance. People, are going to get out of the asset when it's at a all-time high price.
Correct. Yeah. So this is exactly, and that's exactly right. That's what investors do. So they're going to take their money, they're going to start taking it further and further down the risk curve. So investors are going to take their money, they're going to put it into the higher market cap, safer investment plays at the beginning of a investment cycle. And like you said, as they're making profits, that's exactly right. They're going to sell their Bitcoin. Now that Bitcoin, they bought it in at $30,000 at the beginning of the cycle. Bitcoin hits 100 grand. Great. Guess what happens? Like you said, they get to 100 grand. They made $70,000 per Bitcoin, sell their profits, and they're going to reinvest into, like you said, these meme coin projects, these riskier plays, these gamble bets. And the reason they're going to do that is because now they're playing with house money. So when you're playing with house money, you're more take it down the risk curve, take it down the risk curve, take it down the risk curve. And people from the equity markets too are also going to be bringing their money from the equity markets into the cryptocurrency market. So what you said is exactly right. Bitcoin dominance is just it's just tracking how much of the total crypto market cap is concentrated in Bitcoin, right? What percentage? So obviously the price of Bitcoin could go up and the market cap of Bitcoin can go up, but the Bitcoin dominance can go down as that's happening, right? Because all the other projects, these shit coins, these altcoins are starting to blow up. So, and that's exactly right. So we want to watch for that. And then the other thing you want to know and watch for to know whenever you're getting towards the end of the cycle is tether dominance. Okay. So how much of the total crypto market cap is actually in Tether USD? So when you start seeing Tether USD shooting up, so people are putting their money back into Tether, that means we're towards the end of the cycle, or the cycle's ending. Everybody's taking their profits, everybody's taking their money out of these meme coins and all these other projects. They're putting it into Tether USD to take their profits. That's how you know, okay, cycle's starting to cool off. We got to get out of our shit, put it into Tether. Because Tether's not volatile. It's a stable coin pegged to the US dollar, right?
Yeah. And with the Bitcoin dominance, I think that if you are up on your shit and you're watching your investments, you're watching your coins, there's no reason why you can't be on top of it. These markets aren't they used to be, sometimes they are, but sometimes you could see these drastic 20% drops in a day. And if you're watching it on a weekly basis like I do, you kind of want to, set yourself, what I do on TradingView, and I've made a video on TradingView how much I love it. I'll set watch prices. So if I know I'm not, if myself now, I know I was going to be traveling for a week, I wanted to set a couple watch prices for different coins. Luckily, I didn't hit any of those watch prices this week, which is good. So what I did is I set a watch price for Bitcoin. If it was going to drop below 60,000 again over these past couple of days that I've been traveling, I would know, to look at my other investments and see what's going on. So I just, on TradingView, you could set up different price action points, whether you want to buy when it gets to a certain point, whether you want to sell when it gets to a certain point, or you just want to keep yourself informed with a notification. You could actually see what's going on. So throughout my investments with Brett and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other Solana, all these other coins I went through and I set myself a couple different price actions just for notifications, just to know what the market's doing if I can't physically be looking at the charts. So that's just another tip for you guys if you use TradingView. And I know we have some people in the chat that use other stuff. So just, see if they have those tools for you to set yourself reminders, just so you could get it in your brain, like, okay, the market's taking a little dip today. But you don't have to physically be looking at the charts or physically selling that day, but just get it in your brain that you know what's going on.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's all it takes. And whenever you have a network, a group of individuals that are already doing this shit, like me and Bobby and the other guys that are investing inside, it makes it so much easier whenever you can say, oh, okay, these guys have already done their research. They obviously know what's going on. Let me just do the plays that they're making. It makes it a lot easier for you guys. But that's, even if you only have a couple of $100, a couple of $1,000 to play with, it's still worthwhile to get invested into the market and start to hit some of these plays, because you watch how quickly you can turn $1,000 into 10,000, and then 10,000, another 10x is $100,000, right? So if you hit two 10x plays, you already turn 1,000 to $100,000, right? Now that's obviously going to sound a lot easier than it actually is, but the point is that it's possible, right? The people are doing that. You just have to be in the market. The problem is too many people just don't even play, or if they do play, they don't play using their brain. They're not thinking about what's actually going on in the market. So that's why it's so important to know what the hell's actually going on, because when you see how these 4-year cycles play out, and you understand how these crypto 4-year cycles happen over time, and it's just pretty much the same thing every 4 years with the Bitcoin halvings, it goes from being difficult to make money to, oh my God, this is so simple, this is so easy. It's just, okay, accumulate. Yeah, there's going to be some downside. Yeah, there's going to be some drawback, but that's when you buy more. DCA. Bang, all of a sudden, now we're starting to fucking pump. Then you see how in Q4, all these coins are going to keep pumping. Q1, all the mania, the froth happens. Everything's at its all-time highs. Everything's up 100x. And then what happens? The retail market, the normies, the people that aren't paying attention, see the hype. They see the news stories on TV about Bitcoin being over $100,000. When you guys hear about Bitcoin on the news, that's when you know you're too late. Okay? When you hear about Bitcoin on the news, they do this to get peak froth, peak mania, to get everybody like, oh my God, make a Coinbase account, buy Bitcoin. Not understanding they're buying the saying,
top. Sell the news.
Exactly.
So, and with that, it's like preparation. What's the saying? Preparation beats skill when skill's not prepared. I think that's the saying. It might just be a new quote by me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's your quote. Yeah, that's right, dude.
But it's like Priamo said, if this happens every 4 years and you were around 4 years ago, you're prepared now. You've been in the markets for 4 years, and for opportunities like this, that's going to come around this quarter one, whenever it might happen. And timing is not always set in stone and things like this. This is why you have to be flexible. This is why you have to look at charts like that. And I think that when you are prepared and you analyze your charts on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and you know what you're doing, and you've prepared for this kind of stuff, and you're investing weekly, and you're investing, taking money out of your bank account, putting it in on a recurring basis, that's preparation. That's just getting money in the markets, because not everybody has the money to just drop $10,000 in and then go invest. So if you have to chip away at it, if you have to put $100 in every week over the course of a year to get there, that's going to be over $5,000 if you only have $100,000 or $100 a week. So that's, in my mind, that's preparation. You're prepping for this bull run market. If you started a year ago, that's 52 weeks to get $100 in a week. So it's things like that you have to start thinking about in terms of getting in the market, because not everybody has the money to just put boom 10,000 in the market and then let's work.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it is preparations, understanding what's going to happen in the future. So you got to be not afraid to be buying and to be investing whenever there is no hype and taking that year to go ahead and prepare yourself as opposed to waiting until it's mania now and then you decide, oh, let me go ahead and jump in on this and then not make any money. So I'm going to go through real quick just what the boys club is so they understand what it is that we're investing in. So basically, the plays that we're making. Now, we're going to give it to you live, but it's not going to be, I mean, you're not going to really know when to sell or when to buy unless you're inside of the Taylor's code, but I'll at least give you the tickers. So, right now we're essentially betting on Ethereum. Okay, we're betting on Ethereum to be outperforming Bitcoin by Q1. Okay, so when Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin, basically that means that Ethereum is a better hold than Bitcoin. If you hold Ethereum, you're going to get a bigger return than if you were holding Bitcoin. So that's what Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin means. On the Ethereum blockchain, there's this narrative, the boys club. This is the meme coins, right? Oh, meme coins, haha. Yeah, well, it makes money, so that's why we're buying it. Pepe, this cycle is by far the largest meme coin, the most successful meme coin this past 4-year cycle. So right now, Pepe is at about $3.8 billion evaluation. Okay, $3.8 billion meme coin. So the Boys Club is essentially the 4 characters from this comic book by Matt Fury that the Pepe meme came from. Okay, so Pepe is at a $3.8 billion market cap. I'm invested into Pepe pretty heavily now. Okay, Brett is the second highest evaluation out of that Boys Club meme. It's at a $900 million market cap. And you see, Bobby, how quickly that shit moves. It was at like 700 million a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Brett is the other one. Brett's on the base chain, which is a layer 2 on top of Ethereum. So you guys can look up online how to bridge the base. The third market cap is Andy, which is at 162 million. And then the fourth character from that comic is Land Wolf, which is at a $70 million market cap. Okay. So what does that mean? So you want to run this beta train. So you want to run Pepe, Brett, Andy, Land Wolf. And they go in that order in terms of market cap. They also go in that order in terms of risk and volatility. So Pepe is going to be the least volatile from the downside, but the least volatile to the upside as well. So you could still probably catch conservatively, and I really mean this conservatively. I know people who are new to crypto are going to think, what the fuck? Conservatively, by the end of the bull run, Pepe will do a 10x. So Pepe will get to $38 billion meme coin evaluation. Why? Because what's it called? The Dogecoin made it up to 80 billion. SHIB and all these meme coins have made it to 80, 50, 60 billion dollar market cap. So you're telling me Pepe for this cycle maximum can't get to 38 billion? Of course it can. So probably 10x at least on Pepe. So you put $1,000 in, you make 10,000. Okay. Brett is the next one down, 900 million, excuse me. That's going to hit a $10 billion market cap minimum. Okay. So that's another 10x for sure.
Yeah.
If you go ahead, you're going to say something?
No, you can finish up, but I do have a point. I like what you're talking about.
Yeah. So Brett is going to do a 10x at least. Andy is at $162 million market cap right now. Andy, you buy it right now, for sure you're getting a 10x. Arguably, I would say conservatively, you're still catching a 15 to 20x on Andy. Okay. And then Land Wolf at 69 million, $70 million market cap. You buy Land Wolf and Andy right now, which is what I would recommend. If you guys have like $1,000 that are watching right now, $500, $2,000, buy Land Wolf, buy Andy, catch the 10, 15, 20x off of those coins that you will catch, and bang, now you got $20,000, $30,000 portfolio out of nowhere, right? So those are the 4 plays you want to play. And to be able to buy those coins, you got to go on CoinGecko is probably the easiest thing to do. Go on CoinGecko, search those coins, and use the contract address on the coin. Copy and paste that into Uniswap, wherever you're going to buy your tokens at. Do your own research, all right? Do some work, gentlemen. But you know, I'm not going to fucking do everything for you. But go on CoinGecko to find those tickers. Or if you're inside the Taylor's code, I already put the contract addresses in there. But yeah, what were you going to say, Bobby?
So I was going to say, I was going to ask a rhetorical question. I was going to say, if you're trying to get involved in these plays, which investment do you think has the most potential? And when you look at it in terms of a market cap, we have the ones the larger coins that you said, has maybe a little less volatility on the upside, but these lower coins that have these $70 million market caps, they have way more upside to catch up to these other coins. And is it possible that they could catch up to them? Of course it is. It's just a matter of a couple whales getting involved, catching hype, catching momentum, and it flies up. So when you're thinking of investments, what I like to do is look at it in terms of a market cap. Which ones have a good market cap, ones that just aren't gonna be shit coins and dump, but which ones have a solid base that they've been sitting on, and like we've seen consolidation over the past couple weeks, couple months. That they consolidated at a certain level. And I'm sorry, which coin did you say was a $70 million market cap?
Land Wolf.
Land Wolf. So Land Wolf is $70 million market cap. And like we said, a 10x on that is just 10 times the current investment for people that don't understand market cap or anything like that. So $70 million market cap times 10 is only 700 million market cap. And that's like you're almost at Brett's. You're not even at Brett's market cap yet. So that's 10x to get to almost where Brett is now. So correct. I think that's one of the best investments right now in terms of these coins we're talking about, because of all the potential upside. Of course, you have potential downside, but where we're at now and what we've seen from the market out of the past couple months gives me that reassurance that, okay, it's not gonna go any lower than kind of where it is now. So my philosophy is, look at these market caps. The lower market caps have a lot more room to grow, especially when they're the same story, the Boys Club story itself, when they're all related, like these coins are, and you see the disparity of price points, that gives me signals that, okay, these other coins are going to go. And this is what we've talked about, with Pepe, the last cycle, and then Brett over this past year since it's been released. I mean, Brett, since it's been released, has got to be one of the biggest returns in all of the crypto market, right? I mean, when did it release? In January, February?
Yeah, it was actually probably came out this year. Yeah. So let me check right now. I'll show you. Let's see. So it came out in
maybe even later than that.
March.
Yeah.
March, February of this year, Brett released. So Brett, February of this year came out on base chain, and it already got over to a 1.5, 1.6, $1.7 billion market cap, 1.8. So Brett has already been to a $1.8 billion market cap within 6 months. Since it released from February to June, 4 months, right? So now it's at a $900 million market cap. So just to get back to its all-time high, you're already catching a 2x on Brett. So even if you're just loading into Brett right now, you're at least doubling your money. It's not bad, right? To do that within a couple of months, because I mean, Brett will be back at 1.8 billion by the time October is done. I bet you Brett's back to 1.8 billion by the time October is done.
And that's the thing; it's already done it. So it's like it's not even speculation. It's like, oh, could it get there? Like, no, it's already done it. And it's, people take profits, and the market swings. And that's the thing about crypto markets; it's gonna swing 50%. When you look at Bitcoin, like Bitcoin's all-time high, in the last cycle, back to the lows of in between these two bull runs. As well, I think it's bigger than 50%, because it got up to the 68,000 and then it dropped back down into the 20s. So that's like more than 50% of an increase and decrease. So that's just normal. And if you study the crypto markets, you understand that. So you're not going to get all flustered about it. You're not going to just pull your money out and be, oh, I can't invest in that. But I think it's a good position right now with sitting around that 50% mark and decrease in market value. And it's only it's got tons of upside.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing with crypto. Why are we talking about this? Because, guys, it's not supposed to be something that you're going to make your career out of. It's just, oh, I'm going to be a day trader in crypto. No, the reason we talk about this, the reason me and Bobby talk about this for you guys, is not only because we're invested into it, but number two, it's just an opportunity to make money. At the end of the day, it's all about the opportunity to make money. You guys are trying to free yourself from your current situation, and this is why crypto is becoming so popular with the youngest generation, because people can't get out of their situation. People can't just save up money for their whole life and become rich anymore and buy houses and get everything has become so expensive, and the common man can't even get out of their own situation through the legal, through the normal, typical route, that you have to resort to things like this. So if this is simply the hand that you've been dealt as an individual, right? Now I'm doing it just because extra cash. And Bobby's doing it because extra cash is just a great investment. But like for people who have no incomes, barely have any money, I understand why you want to do something like this. I understand why it makes sense, and this is why we're talking about it, is because it is an opportunity to get yourself out. Now, we're not talking about gambling on shit coins just to try to fucking gamble. No, we're talking about real investments, big plays that are going to play out over a long period of time, but they are going to put you in a position where you can actually have some breathing room and start to get out of your job, start a new business, start to have some money to invest into, to start play with outside of the crypto market. That's why you got to take these opportunities when you can, because it is once in a lifetime. You could hit one of these plays and you're free for the rest of your life. Or you could watch, be scared, be a coward, and not want to waste a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 and never get out of the situation that you're in right now. Like, this is the time to make shit happen. Get in the game and make something happen, right? Get off the sidelines.
So I think this is a perfect opportunity to transition. We had the Gentleman's Code episode 6 last week, and we touched on it, but we didn't get to react to it since it happened. Is Daddy Powell lowering the interest rates 0.5? I don't know. Did we talk about it last week? I know we talked about it was coming up. I think it happened last Friday, right? So we didn't actually get a chance to talk about it together.
Did we talk about it? Yeah, I don't think we did. I know I mentioned it. I mentioned it on the university meeting, but
Yes.
yeah, I don't think we talked about it.
That's what it was. So let's touch on that super quick. So for people that don't live in America, for people that don't understand the interest rates and what happens here, the Federal Reserve is gonna lower, or they already did. I already got a notification on my credit card bill, so your interest rates have been lowered, which is good. I'll take it. So 0.5% from the Federal Reserve's interest rates overall.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean, and what does that do for the economy? Well, it's gonna give people the opportunity to be more consumers. So if you
So start real quick. So tell them why the interest rates had been hiked up so much by the U.S. government in the first place. Like, why did they raise them a shit ton?
Yeah, well, it comes back to inflation. Everything leads back to inflation. So when you have all-time high inflations, like we've had here in America for, I'd say about a year, things got really bad for about 1 year. And so what the Federal Reserve does is they try to control the markets in terms of buying, selling, and actually just consumerism as a whole. People want to go out, buy cars, buy houses, whatever. So that the interest rates were steadily increasing because the United States inflation was getting higher and higher, and they were trying to get a hold on it, inflation. So inflation
This was due to COVID, due
Yeah,
to the
and
printing that happened in COVID.
printing money and everything that goes along with that is just, there's more money in the market, so your dollar's worth less, and that causes inflation. And then you do other things like oil, and there's a whole different, we could talk about inflation for days. So the markets, the interest rates were going up because the markets were not good. People were not buying things, so they were trying to, increase interest rates to slow consumer spending. And they did that. I think they got to a point, I think inflation hit an all-time, like a high of like 9%. And then they started doing cuts. So once they reached the height of what they were going to, I don't know how they calculate it. That's a very complex calculation. But the interest rates started taking, so they did like 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. And then they hit us with the biggest one yet, is 0.5% of interest rates. So what that means is that now, if you want to go get a loan on a house, as opposed to being maybe 7% from a traditional bank or a credit union, now they have a better credit outstanding with the Federal Reserve, and they can, give out prices cheaper. So they could give out a 6% or maybe a 5.5%. Just depends on the bank's credit standing with the Federal Reserve, because they borrow money from them and then we borrow money from them. So it's all about what your credit score is, what your credit rating is, and what bank you use credit rating. And now you might be able to get a bank loan or a car loan or a house loan for that 5% range, as opposed to the past couple months. It's been that 7, and it's been all the way up to 10 for some people. So you're going to see things start coming down, and it's more favorable for consumers.
Exactly. So, and the reason that that's also positively impacting the market right now, this 0.5 basis point cut, is because now that capital is cheaper, right? So the Federal Reserve is making capital cheaper to borrow. That's bullish. That's good for small cap companies and small businesses because if they can borrow at a cheaper rate, they're going to borrow more money and increase their business size and they're going to grow and they're going to do well. So in equity markets, the way that it works is if these low cap companies are bullish, they're going to grow, their stock prices are going to start going up now. That's further along down the risk curve than these standard blue chip massive companies like Apple, Tesla, etc. So what happens now is that trickle down effect goes from the equity markets into these low cap, the Russell 1000, these low cap stocks and these low cap companies, and then it trickles further down into cryptocurrency. So that's why whenever we saw Daddy Powell make the half a basis point cut, um, you saw the crypto markets start ripping the next day, ripping because it's bullish, right? Now we weren't sure how the market was going to react before it happened, but that's how it reacted. So it's bullish for the small, for further down the risk curve. Cheaper capital, more money gets injected into the economy. People have a little bit more to spend, more to invest, right? So liquidity is very important in investing. This is why you want to have liquid markets, people with a lot of spending money. This is why COVID made the 2021 crypto bull run massive, is because in 2020, COVID happened. And what happened in 2020 and 2021? The government printed a fuckload of money because they're sending out stimulus checks. They're trying to stimulate the economy. They shut down every business, every fucking company. Everything was shut down, and they're still injecting money into the system so that they could keep the fucking country running. So 2021, what happened is you get a crypto bull run where the liquidity environment was huge. There was so much liquidity in the market that people were making all this money, and they were able to actually get out of the market and realize those gains. So now, and that's also why they were hiking the interest rates, like you were saying, is because all that inflation that came from all that printing from COVID, they had to fucking blow up the interest rates to quit people from borrowing and spending money.
Yeah. So that's the thing, and that's the American way. Is Americans are consumers, and Americans buy a lot of stuff. I think more than any other country. That's why we do a lot of exports, but we import more than any other country. Even though we do make stuff here, not nearly as much as we should, but we bring in so much stuff and we buy so much stuff as a country as a whole that somebody actually has to come in and be like, yo, you guys need to slow down. Like, this is, it's getting...
Right. You guys are fucking animals.
Yeah, so the Federal Reserve actually has to step in and raise the prices artificially through interest rates and things like that, just to slow Americans down from spending, because we're going to buy the Benzes, we're going to buy the Lamborghinis, we're going to, so people, they spend. And that's just an artificial way to, kind of tighten up the money supply artificially. I will say artificially, because they have control over the interest rates and things like that. But so now that they're going to start dropping, and you're going to see the stock market go up, you're going to see the crypto markets go up, because now people have more money to reinvest and buy things now. So overall, it's a positive for the economy, but long term, like I said, the spending problem has to be addressed, because people are radical spenders. Our government is culprit number one of radical spending.
Exactly.
So
we get it from our parents. Yeah, our government's the ones fucking spending their asses off. Everybody else in the U.S. is spending their asses off on credit cards, on loans. Yeah, the credit card debt is the highest it's ever been in fucking U.S. history. Right? Like you said, Americans spend money even if they don't have it.
A thing I learned over this past week is, did you know that some of our major corporations in this company have better credit scores and better credit ratings than some countries around the world? Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, they have better credit scores than countries do borrowing money. So corporations in America could borrow more money than some countries in Europe, in the Middle East, in Africa. That's crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. You got these big spender people running these countries, running up their own credit card debt and then their own fucking country's debt. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I can't imagine the U.S.'s credit score is too far, but I mean, the U.S. is also, probably one of the it is the highest income earner, or at least close to China, maybe be number one. That's a good question. What's the highest GDP?
It's America.
America. Okay.
But China has had, I think, the most growth over the past couple of years, so they're like on the rise, close. They're a close second. But yeah, that's the best way to measure it, is GDP, your gross domestic product, how much you sell to other countries versus how much you import. So like we're by far the greatest exporter, just because if you think of companies like Microsoft and Apple and all these big tech companies that are worldwide, international through the internet, and they make money via the internet and with phones. Everybody has an iPhone these days and things like that. So, and then you have companies like Tesla who are international now. They're in China, they're in Europe, they're in America. So yeah, there's a lot of. That's one thing America still has, even though the government is radical spenders. We have big companies that could actually kind of save us with their credit scores, and they provide jobs to people, so people aren't going to just lose their jobs. I mean, they do lose their jobs, but it's not like it's like the whole company's going to shut down. Like Microsoft has a credit rating better than some countries in Europe. So
right. One last thing I want to mention with crypto before we get too far off of that subject. Just keep in mind, just for the gentlemen that are watching this, because this is the gentleman's code, right? How to actually be a competent man in the sense of making money, then obviously eventually being with a woman, having a family, these sorts of things. This is why you want to be a gentleman. This is why you want to be successful. You got to understand that though we're talking about these crypto plays and this money that you can make off of crypto, it is not a substitute for hard work, discipline, actually becoming a fantastic man. I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of these dudes who make a shit ton of money on crypto, and this is what they do. They are not fantastic human beings by any regard, okay? This is not an environment that requires a high level of skill and discipline, just a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of intelligence, and you're going to make a lot of money, okay? So you can't use this as a substitute. I'm telling you right now, no girl's going to come up to you and say, like, what do you do for a living? You're like, oh, crypto. And they're like, oh my God, this guy's so hot. Like, you could have a couple of bucks. Right? You could have a few bucks from crypto, but that's not a substitute for you as a man, okay? You still got to be fit. You still got to be able to speak well. You still got to be intelligent. You still got to be interesting. You still got to have stories. You still have to travel the world. You still have to do difficult things to actually become somebody that's attractive to women, okay?
100%.
Money in it of itself is not going to attract them. So don't use it as a substitute. I'm just saying use it as a catapult, as a trampoline, some way to get a little bit of capital, a little bit of income, learn about investing and actually make some money, so then you can go do some fantastic things. Don't use it as a substitute. Don't be a fucking crypto nerd.
Exactly, and it's very futuristic based in my mind when I think about crypto. It's the future money markets. Even though it is current now, it's financial markets change and things are going to change. Crypto is going to be that internet. It is that internet money. It's currency of online, and eventually when humans are on Mars and humans are traveling space and stuff, like, they're going to have to use cryptocurrency, because you're not going to be able to hand someone a dollar, and that's the world we live in now. Like, I can't pay somebody in Europe with dollars because, one, they don't use dollars, and two, it's like they're too far away. How am I going to physically give it to them? So it's this online digital age. So you have to start thinking of it in that terms. It's in the future. It's an investment into what could be. It's a technology. If people invested into Apple in 1995 and everyone put their money in Apple might not be the same as it is now, because it's ever evolving. They come out with the iPhone, then they come out with the MacBook, and then they come out with AirPods. So it's ever evolving and ever changing. It's not the finished product. So that's what you have to think about in terms of the investing, and that's why the markets grow, because the technology gets better and more people see that the technology gets better, and you're seeing it. People are adopting it, and that's why you see these rises. And I think Priamo hit the nail on the head when he said, it doesn't make you a competent man just because you make a couple bucks. We see people all the time that are degenerates and might pump a crypto coin and make $1 million, and then they're just out being idiots, doing drugs or whatever it is. So you still want to have something inside of you that drives you to be a better man, to start a family, and like what actually your purpose is. And not my purpose isn't to trade crypto and make a lot of money. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to build a foundation, build something that is going to last my family forever, and something that we could all build together. That's why I love the Taylor's Code community. It's because it's something that we could all work on together, and something that we could tangibly see in front of us, a network of people that live all around the world that are coming together to share ideas, to talk about their work, whatever they do on the day-to-day. Some people do other things. Some people do video editing and selling stuff. So finding your purpose of what is going to make you that ultimate professional gentleman is what you should really strive for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's just such a great point, because it's not going to free you. You can't the crypto's not going to free you mentally and physically. It's going to maybe get you a couple of bucks, but that's not who you got to be as an individual. That can't be your personality. That can't be your end all be all. Like, oh, this is no. Just use it to make money and go do some fantastic things. Um, okay, so there was going to be some other point that I was going to make, but I lost it because I saw this firework nut in the chat. Firework nuts lover or whatever that guy is. I think that's I think that's Logan's pseudo account. He's hiding behind that firework nut account. He couldn't show face on the stream today, but at least he jumped into the chat. What were I gonna go with I had another point with the crypto. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I forget. What were you gonna say? Do you have any other points?
No, nothing else on crypto. Just kind of the last point. Just if you do make a couple bucks, don't get degenerate with it.
Right. Yeah, actually use it to do something fantastic. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I had a fantastic point, but then I forgot. Oh well, where she goes. Any other topics for today outside the network? Oh yeah, the one other thing I was gonna mention is you said the network and about everybody that we have inside the Taylor's Code. We have Bhuvnesh right now, who's in India, listening. Bhuvnesh is gonna get rich just from being a part of this network. We have Ollie in the UK right now. The man's going to get rich just because of the Taylor's Code. He gets paid every single week for the work he does. He's invested into crypto. This guy, by the time he's 20 years old, I told him by the time he's 20 years old, give him 4 years, okay? Dude's going to be a millionaire, and that's not an exaggeration. And why is he going to be a millionaire? Because he found the right group of people to actually do business with. He's engaged all the time. He's editing videos. He's working on YouTube channels. He's inside of the Taylor's Code every day. He's making posts. He has way more points than Logan does inside of the Taylor's Code. Cooking a grown man, destroying him, and then invested into the cryptocurrency. And he's been in the markets for the past 6-7 months, and he hasn't given up. He's just continuing to put his money into base Brett. I know all his biggest positions. Brett does it every single week. Just keeps investing. It's like these little things are what separates people from the crowd. It's just the right people that you're around that are always talking about making money and doing business. Our group chat that we have with the people inside the Taylor's Code, all we talk about is making money. That's the only topic of conversation is making money. What are we doing here? What are we going to do there? How are we going to make this kind of money? What are we going to do? Like, that's just all it is. So how could you possibly not make money if that's the only type of conversation that you ever have? I don't talk to people unless it's about making money. This is a reality.
For sure. And I think where especially Ollie and all their guys in the community is that they're building skills on top of what they do on the day-to-day. So you might go to work but do you think your coworkers are going home and learning about crypto, learning about online skills in a network like that talk to people that are doing these things in real life? I doubt it. And that's what we're building, is that you could make your money however you make your money. We're going to try to get you out of that. Obviously, we're going to try to get you rich enough that you don't have to go do your day job anymore. But people, it's all about building skills. Whatever skills you could provide to the marketplace is what you're going to be valued at. And if you're somebody like Ollie, who's only 16 years old and does video edits, and he invests in crypto, and he does all these different things, he's setting himself up for success. Nobody else is going to come through and teach and tell him that he can't do something when he's building skills on his own. And then when he's older, he's going to be able to build his own business, whether that's video editing, whatever he wants to do. It's this building skills that are going to provide you monetary value in the future. That's what's most important, and that's what we're trying to teach inside the community.
Exactly. And now you drop him anywhere, he doesn't need a job. He doesn't need a day job. He doesn't need to go get a degree. Dude's 16 years old. He'll probably never work a normal job in his life. Why? Because, like you said, he's building his skills right now in ways that are going to be able to make himself self-employed. Now, he doesn't have to go get a day job if he doesn't want to, because he's doing it so young. And I wish I had done the same thing. I'm sure you're probably the same way, right? I wish somebody was there for me and taught me how to do crypto when I was 16 years old, who taught me how to do business whenever I was 16 years old, before I actually spent all this money on college, a job that I never ended up sticking with, etc. He's putting himself in a situation where he can't lose. Even if he's broke in 2 years, $0 at 18 years old, just like every single other 18-year-old, he's still way richer than anybody else's age. Why? Because of all the experience, connections, and the money that he made and lost, right? The dude's just going to be farther ahead from everybody else, and he's going to be driving around in a Porsche in the UK. They're probably going to steal from him because the UK is, collapsing over there. They're probably going to steal his Porsche. But the experience he's going to have is going to be miles ahead of anybody else's age. Like that's the important part of it. That's why we're talking about with crypto is like crypto can't be the end all be all for you because what did you really do if you bought a coin when it was low and then you got a lucky pump and then you sold it high? It's
Hmm.
like there was a little bit of thought involved, I suppose, if you didn't have people like me and Bobby telling you what to buy. But if you got people like me and Bobby telling you what to buy and all you do is buy it and sell it, there's no degree of skill involved with that. It's just you got lucky.
Yeah.
So what Ollie's doing is something tangible that he can take anywhere else in his life with any other business that he does.
And one of the most important things, too, especially inside of a community like what we have, is mentorship. You have to find somebody who emulates what you want to be either in the future or say what they do for work. And you could ask them what their path was to get there. So if you have somebody who started up an online store, for instance, and you want to start up an online store, well, if you could have a mentor who could show you the ropes, who could tell you their failures, who could tell you the shortcuts they took to success, those are things that are going to help you greatly. And that it could be anything. It doesn't have to just be, for e-commerce. It could be for anything. It could be the way someone dresses. You'd be like, oh, where do you shop at? Where do you get this stuff from? Where did you get, your new bag from? Whatever. You just want to find people that you want to emulate, and then you could follow in their footsteps and you could get there. It's just a blueprint of how to get there. And then obviously you put your own flair on it, you put your own style on it, and that's what makes you. So find someone that you could be a mentee of, you could learn from. That's one of the most important things.
Absolutely. So I think this is a pretty good place to start to wrap up because I want to give. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Do you hear that? They started up a freaking vacuum in here, blasting. Do you hear it? You want to hear
whoa. No, I can't.
it? Okay,
Thank
good. Okay.
God. So, the last thing I'm going to wrap up with. So, inside the community that we keep talking about, for those of you that are looking to learn the crypto, it's in there. Free courses, learn literally everything you need to know to start investing into cryptocurrency. There's the plays inside of the Taylor's Code in terms of to learn what we're investing in, how to make the money. Get with Bobby. Well, I'll let Bobby touch upon what he's teaching in a second, but get with me for sales, mentorship, leadership development, business development. And then if you want to make money doing e-commerce, I'll let Bobby talk about it, but get with Bobby to do that.
Yeah. So again, coming back to the mentorship, I'm doing mentorships on my own. So if you want to talk to me about a mentorship, we could schedule a call and just to see where you're at, because everyone's at a different place in life. You might need a different type of mentorship than somebody with that's more highly skilled and ready to go. But also e-commerce. If you want to get involved in an e-commerce store, the first thing I would say is go watch my free video inside the Taylor's Code. So if you're not in the Taylor's Code, get in the Taylor's Code and watch the free video, because that's going to give you A to Z and kind of my strategies on how to go. If you like what you see there, we'll get started in building you a store. So that could be from, whatever you want to do. You want to do clothes, you want to do drop shipping, you want to do TikTok shop. I know how to do it all. So I could teach you how to do these skills and we'll get you started on the right foot. And from there, you take it on, you do the marketing, you make all the money. So I don't want to be hands-on in your business. I want you to run your business. I'm just going to give you the blueprint and the framework that I use, and I'll be there to help you get started and, get you off on the right foot. So that's all inside the Taylor's Code. You message me there.
Exactly. So you guys have no excuse. There's literally zero excuse to not make money inside the Taylor's Code. You join, you get with Bobby, you got an e-commerce store, you're generating sales. What else is there to think about? What else is there to do? Start, do something, get with a mentor. We're telling you guys, these are ways to make money right now. If you guys want to get with me and you have $0 to invest to even get into the Taylor's Code, which is an excuse, you have the money. You can even do affiliate marketing with me to build your base. This is how a lot of these guys had built up their base and started making money to be able to invest into crypto, is they started with affiliate marketing. So you start marketing for the community, you start doing affiliate marketing, you're making $15 per enrollment. Guess what I'm going to pay you in? I'm going to pay you in Ethereum. I'll pay you in crypto. Great. Now you're starting to make money inside of the Taylor's Code. You paid for your membership with just one enrollment. Now you've made $1,000 from affiliate marketing. Now you got $1,000 of Ethereum. You put that into Andy, you get a 10x. You got 10 grand now. All of a sudden, your life is starting to change, just because of one thing, one decision that you made to actually start to make some money. So, excuses if you're not making money right now. Get with Bobby. Get your store running. Get with me if you want affiliate market and the sales training as well. Okay.
For sure.
Outside of that, I'm good to go, Bob. You got anything else you want to tell the people? Let them know what's going on.
Yeah, just for all the loyal faithful that tune into the Sunday conversation. We got Hurricane Helena, I think is her name, coming ripping up through Florida. So that's why I'm here doing the show here today. Wasn't able to go home after my Pennsylvania trip. So I will probably be postponing the Sunday conversation to a late night conversation because me and the gentleman have a meeting on the books that we're going to do in the afternoon. So if you're going to tune into that, that's probably going to be Sunday sometime, I would say after 6 o'clock, because I just want to get unpacked and settle in and think of a conversation to have for Sunday night. So just wanted to put that out there.
Fantastic. And then Saturday, typical university meeting for everybody inside the Taylor's Code. Make sure you're there 2 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, every Saturday. And then starting this Monday, Bobby, due to the request of Ollie, because Ollie said he couldn't get enough content. He loves the streams, right? I'm going to start doing a Monday stream in the morning. I'm going to figure out what the theme is going to be, what the trajectory of that podcast will be, but I'll start doing a Monday as well. Maybe we could get Gay Boy Bauer on that one, but
I think I was going to do something similar for Tuesdays, but kind of those video reactions that I've been doing. So maybe just finding a couple YouTube videos that I like, reacting to those live, and then doing Tuesday night. So if you like that, put a comment in there, and maybe I think that's what I'm going to do for Tuesdays, and then just do reaction videos for that of current events, things on YouTube.
Perfect. Yeah, we just got to keep pumping out the content. These people want to see it. They want to know how to make money. They don't want to keep watching these guys like fucking, like you said, Kai Sanat jumping up and down, doing dumb shit on live streams. Now, how about teach me how to fucking make some money and change my situation instead of acting like an idiot? So that's what we're here to do, player. Let's fucking
all right.
Let's fucking make some money. Let's change some people's lives. Let's keep rocking, player. Everything else outside of that, I'm good.
All right, I'm good to go as well. Peace out, live stream.